Miss Patricia Love. Miss Patricia Love, she's a women's motivational and confidence coach. Wow, that's incredible. And who has advised top realtors, CEOs, and entrepreneurs and help unlock their inner power and creative experience with abundance. So my goodness, Patricia, we're so delighted to have you. Thank you for being with us and inspire us with your tips and connections that make us better people. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity and just listening to everybody. It's just such a delight to pick up more information and get some wonderful tips because I'm always learning and always growing. And that's something that's part of me now. But I did write a book and it is called, you saw a picture of it, it is called, that's backwards, but Seen and Unheard. And it primarily, just for you who don't know me, is it's a memoir of my life. But the stories that I write in my book could be your story, could be a spouse's story, could be a partner's story, a daughter or a friend, but it's directed at women who actually have felt in their lives dismissed, marginalized and overlooked, either in their careers or in their personal lives. And because overall women have been conditioned over the years to believe that they are less than or not as qualified as maybe somebody else. So the book actually supports women to help them reflect on their own personal stories, because in the book I go through it as far as my story, but it gets them to start thinking about their own story and maybe how they can change it and help ignite their own power within to make a change at any age. And I say that because I did it at the age of 57. And that was now, oh my God, I hate to 13 years ago. We're almost 14.
Very good. Very good.
And it's so important. It was very important for me to get this book out because my life was full of bad behaviors, you might say, but a lot of that starts as a child. And a lot of that is learned because as a children, we learn what we live.
Sure,
and so it's important that all children and young women and young men too, and young kids and little boys and girls start their lives off well, so they have an opportunity to finish with success. And but through my life, there's just stories of, gosh, I mean, I can basically tell you, I was at 57, I was broken, and on the floor. I was $140,000 in debt. It was 2009. It was when I was a realtor, so the market just, blew out. And at the time, I was really good at making money, but I was also really good at spending money, and I was on the downside of it. Okay. And also, my husband had left me for somebody else. I was 40 pounds overweight, and everything to me was at the end. I mean, in my book, I talk about how we place our feelings in baggage. And sometimes that baggage gets so full that it bursts. And a lot of times with people in general, they carry around things. They don't talk about things. And a lot of this is what I like to talk about is mind fitness, because if we don't chat about and let our own feelings and understandings, be seen and heard, we just stuff everything away. And it blows up sometimes, and not always in a good way. But for me, it was my life, and I wouldn't change it any other way at this point, because it's taken to me, even at learning at the age of 57, is now taken me to where I am today, which is, being a life coach for women, encouraging them, becoming an NLP, which is a neuro-linguistics programmer, an EFT, which is a person tapping, and also writing a best-selling book, which has become my platform to help other women and men to be seen and heard. Because right now in today's world, we're on hamster wheels, right? And I heard somebody else speak about, we need to get off those hamster wheels, and because we're taught in so many ways, and we have to learn to disrupt those negative behaviors, which I finally had to do. And I did them with a lot of work, you might say. You always, nothing is easy, right? But I came up with 5 words that I live by today. And those words are acknowledge, forgiveness, mindset, accountability, perseverance. And I always add a bonus one, which is the most important of all, and it's gratitude. And I live by these words every single day. Now, it took me a while to work through them, because acknowledging sometimes your own truths and your own negatives, that maybe you are maybe a little judgmental, or maybe you just weren't as good at business as you thought you were, or maybe your finances weren't good. Or you have to acknowledge things. And a lot of times that's the hardest thing for people to do, is acknowledge their own truth, right? I had to forgive people for they know not what they do. And in my 20s, I was had some very bad sexual traumas, and I had to learn to forgive those people. And a lot of people will say, well, how do you forgive? Well, you don't forget, you just forgive, because you're taking back your power and your energy to move you forward. I had to change my mindset. I had to, create a mind fitness of a positive one, and move forward and live in the moment and today, and be happy with what I had. Because at the moment I didn't have anything, because I was wondering if I was going to be homeless within a month. So it was a matter of living every single day, and then being accountable to myself, being accountable to, hey, I can't depend on everybody to call me up and say, hey, you're fabulous. I had to learn to tell myself I was fabulous, and I had to do it every single day. And then I had to persevere one step at a time. And I heard somebody say that just a minute ago about, I think it was you, Nora, just being one moment at a time, one step at a time, but that put me that much further. And of course, gratitude for not just the word. And I say this deeply because I hear so many people today say, I'm grateful for this, and I'm grateful for that. But are you really grateful? When I say that, I mean deep, deep gratefulness. I'm grateful for being on this podcast and being on with you guys and this moment, meeting you. That's, to me, grateful. I'm grateful for having the internet that actually is functioning right now, because it went off a minute ago. That's this moving forward. So for me, my goal is to help women be empowered every single day, and men, but also to start with children that need it to start strong, and not start like I started, with an alcoholic mom and a father that was left me alone. So it's something that we need to begin at the beginning, so that the young people can finish, start and then finish strong. So I appreciate having the time to just chat about this. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to get to know people like you that have goals in life that want to inspire others too, because health and wellness is so critically important, and mindset, mind fitness is critical to us moving forward, especially in this world right now when there's so much going on. So thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Patricia, no, thank you. We really appreciate you being with us and what you've shared with us and your story. Oh, it sounds incredible and royal. I mean, and you look so, incredible, according to all your experiences. But you from your description, it sounds like it's made you tough, made you smoothly tough.
I like to call it resilience. But life throws obstacles at all of us, right?
Sure,
and it's really how we react to them and how we move forward with them, and
That's
not
right.
blame anybody else, and not become the victim, but move forward.
Yours is an amazing story, and we'd love to share these plus more regarding your book. Seen and Unheard. What an amazing book. I mean, I can only imagine the items that you've described in the book, and that can be sources of strength for people. So we want to make sure we can get you, in place to people need to read and understand your book. So we'd love to be an asset for you that way.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much so her book is available everywhere, and it's going to be on our readers list this holiday season. We hope Patricia will come back, and we can do more with this book. I think it's powerful. And Patricia, we do a women business empowerment event in March, and I think this would be perfect. So thank you for those of you streaming with us today and watching this broadcast. We want you to hit the bell. We want you to subscribe. You know what to do. We are growing each day, and we want to thank you for watching Patricia Love, and we'll make sure everything is available in the comments below.
Very good. Moving forward.